So this is the negative body weight banded squat. So you just grab yourself a nice thick band. You can get these from Amazon, or I believe there's a shop in town called the Fitness Depot. I think there was something between $12 and $15. But anyway, I use this between a lot of my sets at the gym because I have poor ankle mobility, and also my right knee is really tight. So I'll get down with the band because it's really permissive, right? It takes a lot of the stress off the knee, and then I'll let it pull me forwards like that into, when the toe goes towards the knee, that's called dorsiflexion. When the toe goes away from the knee, that's called plantar flexion. So anyway, it'll help pull you into a nice deeper dorsiflex position, especially if you're waking up nice and stiff. So this here is a 90-90. So I would be an external rotation on the left, an internal rotation on the right. And the reason I really like this one is because I often have a really hard time getting my T-spine to open up. When I get into the 90-90, say in this position, I would be pretty stiff and my body would just tilt to the left. And so with the band, it pulls me open in the thoracic spine, which is, your T-spine, which is where all of your ribs are. And that kind of facilitates a little bit more opening up of that mid-back, where a lot of us are really tight. And you have muscles in between each rib called the intercostals. So you may want to try to, give a little bit of room between the ribs, which I believe this position facilitates on top of stretching the hips. And it's a nice overall general mobility position for you to be getting into. I'm a big fan of it. I just discovered it a couple weeks ago after being shown the 90-90 by another student from my class. But give it a try, see if it works for you. I quite like it. It might be too intense for some people, but it's another option, right? So the negative body weight squats, the 90-90, and then I'm only going to film one side of this one. I believe these are Kossac squats, and again, reduced weight. So I've already done the right side. I don't think you need to see both, but you get a better view of what's going on from when I'm leaning onto the left. So I'm leaning into the leg, finding full flexion with that left knee, and then letting the ankle stretch, letting the band pull me into another, again, a dorsiflex position. And then experimenting with the right leg, of course, was out, and that would be the one where you're stretching your groin. So now here what we have is the ball. So this is the lacrosse ball. I use the lacrosse ball in a pinch, like if you've got a spot in your back and it's just not feeling super great. For me, this is one of my favorite things to do, aside from foam rolling. Foam rolling is great. You get a nice broad sweep, kind of get that. For me, my back cracks a lot. And again, I think what's cracking is the spot where the ribs meet the spine. And it feels quite nice. So what I've done here is I'll speed it up because it was so long and tedious. And also, like, this video was about 15 minutes long, so I want to keep it inside of 5 minutes just because no one's going to watch it if it's too long. But anyway, you get the idea, right? You're going to find a spot, you're going to wiggle around just a little bit until you feel like, oh, that's a good spot, that's the right spot, right? And then you just open up. So what I'm doing here is I'm putting the arm on the same side of the ball over my head, and then I'll open up the mid-back once I've really found a spot that I want to smash out, basically. So arm up, bend forwards, and take a nice deep breath. And you can see how the ball is going a little bit lower on the wall every time I bend forwards. It's because I'm moving down that line of tension in my back. And I've yet to get to a really nice spot, really down low there. I think that's why I was making faces, because I'm finding a good spot. It is extremely relieving. And then you can kind of see at one point also, as I get nice and deep into my stance, it's so that you can push with your feet off the floor and you can push into the wall better. So anyways, that's it.